Hey, what is going on, guys? It is SuperbTube here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be giving you a tour of my most built up, most time put into settlement that I've ever made in all of Fallout 4, my sanctuary settlement, my full big sanctuary city that I've spent an unholy amount of time building. So I've decided to do this because I've spent so long on this settlement, and obviously Fallout 4 is a single player game, so only I get to see it, so I've decided to share it with all of you. For everyone who wants to see a cool city build, this is my interpretation and best attempt at building a city in Sanctuary. I've used no mods for this. This is my save. I spent 3 days and 11 hours on this save, and I've used no mods whatsoever on this save. So this is all unmodded, but I've certainly used a lot of cheats, a lot of duplication glitches to get all of the items that are needed. Thank you, Trash Can Carla. That's fantastic. That's really interesting. I've used a lot of duplication glitches here to get all the items used to build all the stuff here, and if you want to learn how to do that, then click the card in the top right where I've got a video that explains all of that. So yeah, let's get straight into the settlement tour. So if you are an approaching traveller, an approaching whoever, you will stumble upon this straight away. On the outskirts, we have a nice gate that comes down if need be. If there's nefarious individuals on the outside, we have some little army things that the soldiers, or the sanctuary militia as I like to call them, stand on. And here we have one of our soldiers up here who's gone into combat mode for some reason. Is something happening? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, they're a bit schizophrenic apparently. They freak out sometimes over nothing. But yeah, so this is the entrance here. I think it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty well manned. Looks realistic enough. You don't want it overkill. We've got 2 turrets down here, and then the army stands for the soldiers to stand on. And if you're wondering where you get these from, you might be thinking, where have you got them from? You get them from the Vault-Tec DLC. If you complete the Vault-Tec DLC, you will unlock them to build in your settlement. So, moving inward, once you've come in, once you've not been shot down, if you're an evil individual, if you're allowed in, you're allowed to enter the outskirts of the city, and this is where traders come, where people who want to just, sell their wares or buy some stuff from the Sanctuary Trading Station, you can come in here. Obviously, we have little trading stations here where people can bring their Brahmin, like Trash Can Carla. She brings her Brahmin to eat here. And if you're wondering where you get these from, you need to collect a magazine. I'm not too sure what magazine it is, but you do need to collect a magazine, and then you can build them in your settlement, and they're pretty cool. But over here, we have the Sanctuary Trading Center for outsiders to come and trade. We have a general store with someone manning the general store with lots of general stuff. We have a weapons store over here with a nice super sledge, silver shroud, and nothing in there. I don't know why nothing's in there, someone must have stolen that. We have a clothing store with lots of cool fancy spancy clothes, and over here we have the armor store with very cool armor. So this is the area that travellers would come to, and traders, people who aren't full residents of Sanctuary, they would come there to trade their stuff and buy some stuff, and then they can be on their merry way and have a little sleep in a little Brahmin cave over there. But if you want to become a citizen of Sanctuary, you want to join the civilization that you see here, because it's very cool. Everyone in here is very cool, because I built it, yeah. You can come to the Sanctuary reception, where you can inquire about being a permanent citizen. Now, if you come inside, unfortunately, there's no one here. Usually there is, but they seem to have run away for the video. But we do have someone actually using the terminals. So basically what this place is, the Sanctuary reception, there should be someone here, and basically what you do is you say that, I'd like to join the city, and they say, okay, sit down on a terminal and you'll begin the test. So you have a little bit of a test, you have a personality test, you have a skills test to make sure that you're fit enough and intelligent enough and brilliant enough to join the Sanctuary Society. Obviously, if you're some dumb raider with no skills and you just want to murder people, you won't be allowed in, and that's what this test is there for, to make sure we weed out the evil people. So yeah, that's what all these terminals are set up for. It does look a bit bare bones and rudimentary in here, but yeah, that's what it's for. Obviously, this settler must be trying to join the city, or maybe, I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he's doing that. And in here, we just have a little inspiration thing for those people who are wondering what they want to do. We have a find your role. So you could be a wasteland traveller wearing a hazmat suit, going to the glowing sea and acquiring resources for the Sanctuary City. You could be a trader and wear some very cool fancy schmancy suits. You could be a doctor or a nurse. You could be a Minuteman. You could be a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, or you could join the Sanctuary Militia and help everyone inside of the settlement. So they are the roles that I've just put there. Obviously, there's a lot more. But yeah, that's some inspiration for those of Preston's trying to join the settlement. Unfortunately, Preston, you've been rejected because no one likes you. Anywho, leaving Preston in there, we can move on. So, if you've been lucky enough to be accepted to Sanctuary, then you can venture on forward. If not, please eject yourself from the settlement, and the Sanctuary Militia will make sure that they do it for you. But if you have been accepted, you can come over here to the true City Sanctuary, and this is my pride and joy. This is what I spent an unholy amount of time on, the inside of this city here. As you can see, you can't really see in the daylight, but it says City Sanctuary, and this is the inside. Well, this is the outside here. So we have 2 laser turrets put on top of these pole things, and also these defensive things which look very intimidating and scary. And we have the Sanctuary Militia manning them, and also on top of these stone walls here, so to scare off any people who think they might try and break in, but they can't. So it's very well armed indeed. But if you are allowed in, you come straight in, and here we have the decontamination arches, which remove any radiation from you, because we don't want sick settlers. We want everyone to be nice and healthy inside the settlement. So the first building that we'll be exploring inside the settlement is the Sanctuary Security Building. Now that looks rather humorously small because you can't make the text any bigger, but yes, this is the Sanctuary Security Building. This is where all people, all members of the Sanctuary Militia are able to work and sleep. So up here we have all of the prison cells for people in the settlement who may be a bit unruly and need to be put in the cells, or for raiders who are captured and we decide to imprison them in here. So yes, that's what they are. There's 2 floors of that, and each door obviously functions. You can open the door by flipping the switch, and you can close it. Makes the game lag a lot by doing that, but yeah, that's what you can do. Out here we have a little guard post for a sniper or someone to watch over the outskirts of the city and make sure no nefarious individuals are going to try and make their way in. And upstairs we have the sleeping area for all the people who work in the Sanctuary Militia inside the city, which reminds me, actually, I've completely forgot something. But yes, this is where all the Sanctuary Militia people who work inside the city sleep, but if they don't work inside the city, they will sleep outside there. Can't really see, but yeah, that's the above the Sanctuary reception. There's some beds up there and a nice little TV station for them to sleep up there. So yes, that is this first building here, and we have an upstairs walkway where people can look over the edge, and also we can go over here, and it does go around a little bit of the settlement, but it sort of stops there because I ran out of build space, and I'll talk more about that in a bit when you see further inside. But yes, so that is the big wall, the Great Wall that we have there, and here we have the food area of our city. This is where all of the food in the city comes from, and it is from Mama Murphy's Green Grocer. Now in my playthrough I decided to get Mama Murphy off the chems. I decided to help her, and she's an old woman, you know, she's not going to be putting a lot of back-breaking labour, and so she decided to open up a green grocer shop. It just seems like it would fit her personality. And inside here we've got all sorts of different kinds of meat. We have Deathclaw meat, Brahmin meat, mongrel dog meat, and all sorts of stuff, even some Queen Mirelurk meat, sugar bombs, all sorts of food. Here she is running the store, and yeah, decided to make this Mama Murphy store because it just seemed to fit her vibe. And I put some paintings in here which certainly do also reflect the Mama Murphy personality. These are very abstract and yeah, Mama Murphy-esque paintings. Here's a bed in here and a little sit-down area that she has in here with another lovely painting. So that is the greengrocer. A lot of the people in the settlement work here. Even a lot of my companions seem to have acquired jobs here. Sheffield rescued him from Diamond City from being a homeless person, and now he works here. It's pretty cool. So yes, that is where all of the food in the settlement comes from. Mama Murphy's greengrocer. Now, moving forward, we have this rather large building here, which you're probably wondering, what on earth is this? But we'll go here first. We'll go to Sturge's Repairs. Now, Sturge's Repairs, again, I decided to make that the original people who come to I can't speak. The original people who are with you at Sanctuary, so Junlong, Marcy Long, Mama Murphy, Sturge's, etc. They have opened up their stores. They were given priority in living in the settlement because obviously they were the first people to come here and they helped you build it up. Apart from Marcy, who did nothing. But inside here we have Sturge's mechanical-esque shop. We've got lots of mechanical stuff. Inside we've got bone cutters, new power cables, screwdrivers, torque rod ends, you know, the likes. This is just his store where he sells all of his electric goods and his mechanical goods because he's very mechanically minded and he can simply do anything. He built the Institute teleporter, so he really knows what he's talking about. Might as well make some money off of his skills. So yes, he's got all sorts of the stuff inside his little shop, which is very cool indeed. And then above the shop, he has his sleeping quarters, this bus here. I saw the buses inside of the workshop and I was thinking, what on earth would you ever use a bus for? So I decided to make it his little sleeping area, and I think it's pretty cosy and cool. You know, he's got a nice telly and a sofa, and over here he's got a nice bar to sit down and have a drink at the end of the day, and also a lovely bed with a lamp. Very cool indeed. Very nice snug area for Sturgis to sit in. Now we're going to move on to the big one, the big building that's in the settlement. And this is the mayor's house. This is my house, the government house of the settlement, government property. No trespassing, it's a restricted area, so you have to keep out. But inside here we have the sole survivor's original house, and as you may have noticed, nothing has changed about this house whatsoever. And I decided to do this because I haven't even activated Sean's crib. Jesus, I might as well do this for the video. Yeah, well, I haven't even activated Sean's crib, and did he say anything? No, he didn't. That's weird. But yeah, so inside here I decided not to change anything because my character wants to hold on to the past that he had. He wants to hold on to the life that he used to have. He doesn't want to forget it and erase it. So instead of, removing all of the stuff inside the house and trying to make a new life, he decided to keep it as a memory and then instead build his new life around the house, but always remembering where he came from and not forgetting it. So that's why everything is unchanged inside here. But the alterations I've made, the big concrete walls that completely encompass the house, what is up here? This is my main base area, and up here we have all of my power armor, which looks pretty cool indeed. Got all of the workshops here, all of the different types of power armor, the Vim armor, the Overboss power armor, T60 BOS armor, the Exo-1 quantum armor, more Vim armor, Nuco Cola armor. Yeah, that's what's up here, all the cool power armor and all of my stuff. In here we just have regular clothes and regular pieces of armor. In here we have regular weapons. In here we have all cool types of stuff that aren't legendary weapons, so like the Assault Marine stuff. Do we have the Alien Blaster in here? Somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Like the junk jet, all stuff like that. And then in here we get the cool stuff, the 4 legendary chests. These are all the named legendary apparel pieces in the game. So like the Destroyers, Devastators, Grognak, Honor. Which one's Honor? Oh, it's a power armor piece. All of the named legendary apparel items. And then in here we have any non-named legendary apparel items. So stuff that's just fallen on the floor. I actually have two Acrobat Synth left leg, an Acrobat Synth left leg and also an Acrobat Synth right leg, which is basically the free fall legs, but they're a bit terrible in terms of damage resistance, but it's kind of cool that I've got free fall legs there. But yeah, these are all just random pieces that you find killing legendary enemies, and I put all of them in there. There's a rather large amount of them. Yeah, that's going on for a while. That's a lot of it's a lot of legendary stuff. And then in here we have all of the named legendary weapons. Bloodletter, Ceto's Shiny Slugger, all of them. Quite a few of them in there. And then in here we have all legendary weapons which aren't named, so just any ones that you randomly find on the floor. There's also a rather large amount of them in there. So yeah, that is what is in this little area. Oh, and here we have my MISC stuff, just random bits and bobs. And also mods for different weapons. And then we have my bobblehead collection, which I've got every bobblehead in the game, which is pretty cool. All the bobbleheads look very nice. And then my magazine collection, which is rather light, to be honest. I don't know where all my magazines have gone, but I've definitely collected more than this. But yeah, I don't know where they've gone. But yes, this is my hub area. This is where I live. I store all my cool stuff. So yeah, that's what is up there. That's the mayor's house, the Big Don quarters. So yes, right, let's move out of the house and move on with the tour. So right next to the big mayor's house, we have, actually we'll go here first, we have Hotel Sanctuary, which is next to Sturgis Repairs. Haven't quite decided who owns Hotel Sanctuary. I don't really know who to put here, but someone does own it. Someone owns Hotel Sanctuary, and basically this is just a hotel for people who are permanent residents or people who have paid an extraordinary amount of money to come into the settlement and stay a night or so, because we don't let just anyone in here. So if you are a permanent resident but you can't quite afford your own building to run your own business, or you can't quite afford your own living quarters, you'll stay in the hotel for a few caps a night. And if you can afford to be a citizen, you can definitely afford to live in here. This is a rather luxurious and wealthy settlement, and we just have some beds in each room. It's rather bare bones in here. And this is what I was going to say actually when I was mentioning before about this build limit. You can get an infinite build limit. I've actually made a video on how to get an infinite build limit. It's pretty easy. You just scrap weapons or store weapons inside of your workbench. Really easy to do it. But what happens is I've done it a lot, so at this point I'm not really sure if I do it anymore, will the game just break? Because I've done it so much that, walking around the settlement now, you can see that the frame rate isn't brilliant. So if I do it a lot more and add a lot more stuff into areas, it could really screw up the game. So that's why I haven't done too much. I haven't put too much in here. I've just got some beds. It's looking a bit bare bones. But if I didn't do this tour eventually, it would have never got done. I would have constantly tried to add more stuff. So yeah, that's why some things may look a little bit rudimentary. But yeah, I've spent an extraordinary amount of time doing this settlement. And on the walls we have Lorenzo and Wilhelmina Cabot, along with Imogen Cabot, and then Todd Howard being Napoleon, which is very cool indeed. I don't have one there. Oh, that's annoying me. So now, moving on, we have the Long Cafe, which is what is owned by Marcy and Jun Long. I decided to put them to work instead of moping around and complaining. They own this nice cafe, a nice downstairs area with some cool bottles from Far Harbour. very lovely indeed. And they've got their quarters back here with the Minutemen flag. And they also have the cooking area with their kitchen, lots of fish and cooking devices. And then they also have the upstairs area, the upstairs outside terrace. I'm having trouble speaking today, apologies. And then we've got that up here with lots of lovely chairs and lovely jukebox and a bar and all sorts of things. Very, very nice. And now, right next to it, we have Curies Medical Centre, and this is where Curie puts her genius to use. Obviously, in every settlement, you do need a doctor, you need a hospital, and in here, Curie has put her science mind to work. She's got herself a little apprentice here who helps her, and these are facial reconstruction ones because we can't get any doctor's things. This is the closest doctor thing that there is in the game. Chemistry station, nice bed, and another chemistry station. So yes, with Jack Cabot on the wall, the famous scientist who was, arguably a bad person or not, who knows. But yeah, that is Curie's little medical centre where you can get treatment if you have any ailments. And right next to it we have the gun range. Guns, gun shop, owned by Macready, who is a bit gun mad. And in here we have all different types of guns. We've got the plasma pistol, we have the night vision, hard and piercing automatic assault rifle, which everyone needs, a Fat Man, a Marksman 50 caliber sniper rifle, all sorts of stuff. And this is Macready's pride and joy, his gun shop where he sells his guns that he's collected over time and the ones that he buys from random traders. And in here is just some boxes to make it look cool. And then we've got his little bedroom in here with all sorts of memorabilia about guns and whatnot. And then just out here we also have the shooting range, which I'm meaning to add to, but I haven't done yet, so there's only just one lone target. But if you've bought a gun, you can test it out here, or you can try before you buy, test out your guns on the shooting range. Pretty cool indeed, and you can log your score on the terminals. And finally, we have, this is the final little hub area, we have the tree trading station area, where we've got a lovely general store with all sorts of different blobs and bits. We've got a nice armour store with some cool armour, but also very nice power armour, because we're a rich settlement. We sell lots of expensive items. The clothing store with nice suits and nice dresses, and also the weapons store with nothing in here for some reason, and a minigun. So yeah, that is the tree trading area. Thought I'd make use of the tree just being sat there, put a nice trading area around it. We've got a little barrier to make sure that you don't fall into the tree or something. And right next to here we have Sanctuary Souvenirs, which I made the Vault-Tec rep open. I don't know where he is, he seems to have ran off for some reason, but this area is owned by the Vault-Tec rep. I thought I'd put him to use in my settlement, and obviously he's been a salesman for 200 years, so he really knows what he's talking about. So yes, this is his little Sanctuary Souvenirs area where he sells his stuff from his various machines with lots of lovely decorations, and he lives inside of a train cart, which is very fun indeed. Now over here we have the White Skull. Now the White Skull is a club area meant to be owned by Kate, and someone seems to be enjoying themselves. Just that's fantastic, that's really great. So yeah, this is meant to be a club, kind of a boom 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 area, lots of flashy lights for people to get to dance and whatnot. And you might be thinking, why is it called the White Skull? What a strange name for something. But inside here there was actually a skeleton that was in the corner originally inside the building, and obviously you can't move skeletons in Fallout 4. So because I couldn't move it, I decided to call it the White Skull, because at least that would explain why there's a random skeleton sat in the corner. But eventually I figured out if you use the spray and pray or another like kind of explosive weapon, you can just explode the skeleton out of the room, and you don't have to worry about it. So I got rid of the skeleton, and now it really makes no sense. But yeah, so this is the White Skull where people can boogie, the youngsters of Sanctuary can boogie inside of the club. And there's a little back room here to sit down and have a more chilled out, relaxing time, and then some toilets for the ladies and the gents. Lovely, doubly, but lovely. Right, now moving on, we have public occurrences where Piper, obviously Piper has moved from Diamond City into our Sanctuary settlement, and she needs an area to write her newspapers. Now this is most certainly the most bare bones area of the entire settlement, because I built this last and didn't really add a lot to it. Yeah, this is pretty terrible, to be honest. It's just sort of an empty room, some random boxes on the floor, 2 sofas, a terminal and a table. Not too nice. Needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, but I'll have to expand the settlement size for that. And up here is just a bed and addresses. But the idea behind it is that obviously she runs a newspaper from here as well, instead of just running it from Diamond City, because she's moved here as my companion. So yeah, I've also made a little newspaper stand for her to stand on to read out her papers, like Nat does in Diamond City when she stands on the stand and goes, read all about it. So we've got all the papers that she's published in here. The Boston Bugle, that's not a paper of hers. The Boogeyman, View from the Vault, View from the Vault, View from the Vault. and any new papers she writes, she can pop them in there and sell them to passers-by. And over here we have 2 barber stands just for random people to work on the barber shop. It's night time at the moment, so no one's here, they've all run away. But yeah, that's the idea, they're meant to work on the barber stands there. And finally, over here we have Valentine's Detective Agency, which is the last building in the settlement, I believe, unless I'm missing something rather crucial. I don't think I am. But this is Valentine's Detective Agency. Similar to Piper's, it's rather bare bones because it is one of the last things that I had built. And it really is just, again, a place for Nick to work at Sanctuary instead of just Diamond City. You can utilise his detective skills to help the people of Sanctuary or any passers-by who want to hire his services. So yeah, that is Nick's lovely office. Again, bit bare bones, nothing really in here. Bed, some chairs. But yeah, I'll have to flesh that out a little bit more. But like I said, if I didn't make this video now, it would never get made because I constantly add to this settlement and think, oh, well, that's not finished. Oh, well, that's not finished. I might as well just do it now. Yeah. So that has been my settlement. I think I've covered everything in the settlement. Hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully you thought it was pretty cool. I've put a lot of time into the settlement, so hopefully you did enjoy it. And I haven't just wasted my time and you're going to laugh at me for my terrible settlement skills. But yeah, that is the best that I've got so far. I might make a new one in the future. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one in a bit.